All we wanna do is party and bullshit and make sure that we have a good time. Yeah, it's a Litty Talk. Welcome to the motherfucking Litty Talk. We talk shit and get drunk on the Litty Talk. We talk about hot topics on the Litty Talk. Yeah, the Litty Talk. We ain't scared to talk about it on the Litty Talk. We have fun and talk news on the Litty Talk. Where else, nigga, can you get a Litty Talk?
Good. You know the fucking vibes, Litty Willie. Today on Litty Talk, it's not even called Litty Talk no more. We got Matic Mondays. Matic's back in the house. What's good, brother?
Thank you, sir.
How are you?
Good, and yourself?
How you been?
I've been around working.
Been around busy working. That's a good thing. So you know we're planning on we're doing this with your music. Mondays we're gonna drop some releases. You come by, we hear them out. Slowly start bringing you into the spotlight of podcasting.
Thank you, sir.
Possible co-hosts.
Possible.
Obviously talking about some things. I know you got a shit ton of things on your plate already, so adding something else would be deaf. But I can say that you know, Mondays we can just play your music and we talk some shit about music at the same time. Yeah. So firstly, I want to start picking your brain on different types of music.
Okay.
I know Eminem was that guy when you were growing up, and it was mine as well. But I just want to start asking like different questions. But before we start getting into that, what do you have for us today? What are you working on? What are we talking about with you before we start talking about in general?
Well, today I recorded a song that a beat that I made, and I didn't think I was telling my friends. I didn't think that I was gonna do good on, but that's one of those things that the thing that you think is not gonna go good goes perfect.
Great.
So
yeah.
That one was the one. I can play you that one. It's not mixed. It's totally demo. It's not been mastered or anything else at all. I literally just placed it in and that's it. I want to show you that, and I also want to show you one of the songs that's going to come out not hopefully, but I want to say in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
3 weeks, so about that.
So,
and then another one that I am hesitant of releasing because I kind of want to save it.
It's going to be released kind of because you know it's going to be on YouTube, right?
Right. No, but I prefer you listening to this and then,
right.
Seeing what the crowd says.
Throwing it on the mass. I appreciate it, So, if you don't know, I appreciate when anybody sends me or plays me any of their music that nobody has heard yet, because if people don't understand art, when somebody creates something, it's very dear to them, and before you intend to put it out, you kind of keep it close to you before releasing it. So the people that you share with really means something to you that so the people that you share with, that means it means something. So I appreciate it because I know that's your art. And you are a fucking person that you're deep into your art.
Yeah. Way.
So much it drives you crazy sometimes.
Yeah. Like we're talking about right now.
Yeah. We were just talking about that. So I brought up a couple of genres of rap, and I wanted to. First I listed my favorite artists and my favorite song in that genre, and then I'm gonna ask you yours. We're gonna go with these throughout the interview here. Okay. But we'll start straight out into a boom bap rap. One of my favorite artists is KRS-One in boom bap, but my favorite boom bap track will be Street Struck by Big L. If you haven't heard that, because I know I am older than you, check it out. It is a very dope song.
I can't tell you exactly, but even picking up from Big L, I like that the song with Big L and Fat Joe. You know which one.
Yeah. I don't know the name of it.
I can't get the name. Yeah,
that's an old one.
I love that song.
How'd you find that? How'd you come across that?
I came across with it because I heard a rhyme I heard it from Big L, and I heard somebody else singing it, like picking it.
Oh, okay, referencing.
And then I was like, I heard that before. So sometimes when I hear that, I've heard that a lot from Logic, because Logic he's not very, I don't want to say in the art of singing, but in the art of picking up stuff that nobody has said before, other than that person that passed away, God rest his soul, or their soul, picks it up and kind of brings it back to life. Right. I've seen him doing it a couple times with the Tribe Called Quest, even though they have not passed away, they're still around, but that song's like old, like Can I Kick It? Yes, You Can. He did it again in one of his new albums, and he went, Can I Kick It? Put the name of the song was Can I Kick It? And I heard that. I was like, I heard that. or like Outkast, and we are the coolest motherfuckers on the planet.
So you
That
really
you
know
pick it
those
up.
shit, huh?
Yeah, I try to pick up on those things, and then my girlfriend knows because even though when I'm driving, she's talking, she's like,
And
and
you
then
catch it.
I catch something, I'm like, shh, shut up, I gotta go into deep diving into this. But yeah, that one from Big L and Fat Joe, and old school boom bap like that. I'll save Twins by Fat Joe and Big
Yeah.
Pone.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's like, so I don't even have to see. Yeah, if you know me and you know me very well, I am a pun fanatic, dead or alive. I feel like he's always gonna, yeah, for sure, behind you too. But I always like to not also come off as biased.
I get you.
So
Yeah.
you know, sometimes because I can say every big pun. So I mean, beware is one that's nasty. So I mean, like we can sit here forever on pun, but I never want to come. And I think Big L is one of those artists that don't still get that
Recognition.
Biggie pun pop seat.
Okay, yeah, I get you.
You
Yeah,
don't get
no,
that,
of course not.
you know?
Because I guess I don't know. Maybe because he passed away in a certain time where maybe his career got kind of like tucked under the rug, maybe, and then because everybody else was coming up, and he was like, "Oh yeah, he passed away. Oh my God, so sad." But then you had everybody else coming up, and it kind of like was just
Agreed.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. We'll do one more and then I will get into your first track. So I just found out that I'm this old. So trap music to me was T.I., Jeezy, Gucci, Waka Flocka. That was trap music to my opinion. So now I found out that trap is not that trap anymore. I do know that trap is Future, Travis Scott, all these things, but when I thought like when you're debating like what's the top trap songs, I didn't know these names would come into that scenario, and I thought that would maybe be more like drug trap or psychedelic trap, but not so much trap music. So I listed two of these. One being like new trap, one being old trap.
Okay.
So old trap for me is gonna be Jeezy Standing Ovation, and old trap, and new trap is gonna be Future March Madness.
With trap, I can't really say that I've heard, in this classification of old and new. I haven't really dived into what it is, Yeezy, Jeezy, or
T.I.
T.I. I've heard plenty.
Right.
But
not the
towards,
beginning stage.
Exactly, not towards that side. New trap, I don't know if you could even qualify as far as Future.
Yeah, it is.
I can say, I don't know. I don't even know if that reaches, but there's a feature with Future, Kendrick, J-Rock. That one I like, but I don't even know if that classifies as trap.
More or less, yes.
Maybe, but I haven't even really I can really say that I've dived into that because I can say maybe I don't find that thing that kind of like catches my attention, and so I kind of like I'm like, all right, that's not it. So I'll just simply just close it.
Right.
When I should be more open onto it, honestly, because at the end of the day, sound and then quality and then melodies can come in from everything. You can probably pick a seed from something that you may not think that you can. So.
And that's why I intended to do this.
Exactly.
So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I'm trying to open your palette.
Because that can, who was it? Jay sent me today. His name is Ransom, and I've never heard him.
Ransom the rapper.
Yeah, Ransom.
Yeah. Dope.
I heard that he sent me one song. I heard it, and I'm like, bro.
Yeah. He's dope.
You can't send me that shit right now. I'm cooking, man. I gotta stop, sit down, think about my life.
Right.
Because he sent me 2 beats that I worked on, and that I'm actually working on right now, and then both of them are named Ransomification and then Ransom something. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then he's like, you don't know who Ransom is? I'm like, nah, man. It's like, you're going to be like, wow.
Yeah, we're going to like really nerd you out with music. You're going to really get lost.
I like it because that's, like I said, I try not to listen to a lot of music because it kind of like steers me away from from losing how I sound in my head.
Correct.
And then replacing everybody else's voices with my own. So when I go into the mic, I kind of like get lost in trying to like emulate too much.
Correct.
Per se. Rather than when it should be like clear palette, like you said, or like as far as palette goes, a clear palette of what I am.
Right.
Yeah, pure essence there. With also using a little bit of everybody else's. But I try not to, but like for example today I was listening to Ransom insane. But that also I have to get used to, which is very difficult to get used to, just listening, obtaining, grabbing, and then throwing it out in your own way.
Right.
But that comes on becoming, that's when you reach that point of, I guess, authenticity without needing to steal from anybody else. And I'm not saying like I steal from everybody else or anybody else. It's just you have to learn what to pick, what to use, and not try to emulate somebody else's energy, but just emulate yourselves.
And
or your own.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in your case it is because you're listening and you're regurgitating what you are listening to, so you don't want to leave your factor and you don't want to. But I think that to become a better artist is not to change as an artist. It's to know what's around you and what's growing other art as well. Because yes, of course, do you want to be the greatest? Yes. Do you want to be in your own zone? Yes. But one thing that I do give to Drake that a lot of people don't is that some music he does butcher, but he shouldn't be on there. But he's also, what people are not understanding as an artist is, one, he's trying to stay relevant, but two, he's testing sounds. He's testing sounds,
trying everything.
Right, and then where he stands at, I mean, and it's up for debate, but where he stands at, he's still a dope lyricist. So,
of course.
You know what I'm saying? Besides your opinion on ghostwriting or whatever, but because it could be a reference or it could be ghost, whatever. That's a whole nother subject, whole nother show. But he can still stand on 2 feet and say, I'm a dope lyricist. And I do like how he does go and test these fields, but then comes back and could be like a dope ass lyricist. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that I want you to do that. I want to be
as broad, versatile as possible. And I heard that from
by educating yourself, not using it, but just
Method Man said that to be versatile. And I don't know if it's one of those songs from 37 Chambers that they're explaining everybody else's. It's like the RZA, and they said like Method Man is versatile, and I've always picked up from Method Man that out of the whole group, Wu-Tang, he was the only one that I could say that had the most tongue twisting rhyme scheme, that he would just
it would change everything. Yeah, you could sing on the track and it'd be funny and it'd be dope.
It's like it made me feel the first time I heard Method Man first, that Big Pun, but the first time I heard Big Pun was all this same feeling that I had with Method Man. It's like obviously 2 different people, but man, that tongue twisting type of element, that's what always gets me. And then picking up from that, but he said that like Method Man is very versatile, because I think versatility, what was it? That's the saying, I always forget about it. Master of none, oftentimes better than master of one. So, if you're master of every single thing, like for example, like I was on my way here, and then the reason why I asked for your Wi-Fi when I got here was because I was mixing and making sure that all the volumes of certain songs that I wanted to play are perfect. So
as you're driving.
Don't do it at home. But I was trying to do that, but I know how to work on that thanks to Brant, which is my engineer.
Right.
I don't know to full depth to go ahead and tell you, I mixed and mastered fully, but I do know.
Tweak.
I do know how to do that, which is perfect. I don't know everything, but I know enough in order for me to defend myself. Just like if I was to make a song or a beat, I know how to defend myself. So I know a master of one. I'm not a master of one. I'm not a writer. I can also go ahead and do, like, for example, for your website, I can go ahead and do that. I can go ahead and do this. I have all the cards on the table being versatile. So I do like exploring other areas where I don't feel sure of myself. That's usually the one that I have to go towards in order for me to create a new endeavor, I guess, or create a new experience that probably will give me more
knowledge.
Yeah, more knowledge. Yeah, and I'll open my mind at the end of the day. Yeah.
I know. As being the artist you are, it may be a tad bit cringy to listen to certain things because that's just not where you're from. That's not what you promote. And that's not.
Yeah, it feels like it's not right. Like my brain is telling me like that's not it.
Yeah, close down. But
you have to go through that barrier.
It's art. It's, at the end of the day, it's art. And a lot of people seem to forget that no matter how ignorant an artist comes off, they're still in that booth. Yeah. And they're still, it's not like they went in there, and left and that was it. Like, they took takes. Yeah, exactly. They sat there, they thought about what they were going to say.
They believed in what they were saying, which has to be appreciated at some level. Now, to the defense of those that do go and do that, and that's another thing. But there are those people that usually get hated on because their image as is, they still have to be given credit because of what they do or what they've gone through, like how many takes that you took. You know, you went ahead, you did it today, you went ahead the next day, you went ahead and do it again because you wanted to be perfect. Then you did it, then you know you could post it. You're like, it's this. So I like just the caring about the craft simply makes you a good artist.
Yes,
or an artist.
Yes. All right, so we're gonna keep going. So we're gonna play the first track today. Are these anything copyrighted or anything like that that's gonna screw with us? No. Because I know we did good last show. I gotta hold the button on the bottom. That one right there.
Down.
Yeah, no, down. There's 3 buttons.
Oh, here.
No. Yeah. Hold it.
Awesome.
There you go.
Last time we got?
No. YouTube copyrighted me because it's your song, so I can't make money off of it. But it didn't cut the live or nothing like that.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah, we're good. It just can't make money off of it, which is cool. I don't want to make money.
No, I don't like. Well, actually, fun fact with the rules nobody followed that I released that we played last time. I saw that I have to purchase the exclusive. You remember how I was telling you about the purchasing? So I purchased the regular license. I purchased for me to be making any profit out of it, I have to purchase the exclusive. So I went ahead and I said to myself, I'm like, I could do it right now, but I am not. I prefer releasing it, and I don't care if I'm making streams of it. I don't care about it. I just want it out. Yeah. And then as it goes, maybe a couple months from now,
talk about it. Yeah, it's dope though. It's gonna do its own work for itself.
Exactly. It'll grow by its own.
All right. So the name of this, and go ahead and play it.
This one, it's called "What Is It That You're Gonna Say." I believe that this is one of those tracks where I did not think I was gonna perform as good as I believe I did. It took me 30 minutes to do it. I own the beat, and yeah, it's a different feeling. That's what I wanted to do. So here it goes.
I've been trying to find peace. I've been trying to go to sleep, but I seem to be troubled by all my dreams. I've been trying to find peace. I've been seeking to be better, but there is always a thing that comes in between. That is me. And that is me. I've been trying to find peace, but every day for me is just another fight, another life under the sun. It rains, it pours, and all I do is stay afloat. And all I do is stay afloat. I go with the flow of life. I try to change like all the seasons, searching for something, giving a meaning or a reason, so I can understand the pain and not let it turn into hate or rage. Many days I screamed, doubting God's decisions, asking why me, what's gotten into you. I know I made mistakes and created many scars that will never go away, but I try to pay my debt to let you understand that I regret every decision that I make, cause now I see and comprehend that all the damage that I make is suffering that I inflict onto myself. So I sustain the pressure that you put me under, and the cards I'm dealt, I play the game and lose. And to be honest, I don't think that is fair coming from you. I pray to you, and all you do is stay on the sidelines while I try to survive in this island, all alone with myself. Got me feeling like an outcast, cause I'm chasing what many cannot see. Could you please answer me? Can you please answer me? I see myself in everything around me, like the world is depicting my image. I can see the distance between the past and the future, and the limits that I'll be given by society. Now that I am older, I understand that's a fallacy. I see how time is nothing but a pure illusion. The present means eternity if you know what it means to you. From birth to funeral, it's a school that makes you analyze and realize with your own eyes that everything happening to you always has a meaning. It's part of a bigger plan, you don't need to see it, you gotta believe it. I've been trying to find peace, I've been trying to... God is always within me, and all the answers I'll be needing are inside of my chest. I won't be getting any rest until I do what my heart explains. I've been trying to find peace. 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 I've been trying to go to sleep, but I seem to be troubled by all my dreams. Listen, I've been trying to find peace. I've been seeking to be better, but there is always a thing that comes in between, and that is me. and that is me.
That's that therapeutic music.
I really liked it. I did it too quick for myself to understand. Like I was really connected with it. Brant had to go pick up his girlfriend at 9. He left at 8. He told me, "Listen, I'm gonna leave you here. Go ahead and do your thing." 8 to 8:30 was done. He came by at 9. He's like, "What happened? I'm already done." He's like, "What the fuck?" So I really just went ahead. That's one of those, and that's why I say like the more you practice something, and when you're really connected about something, you just spice up.
Okay, so excuse me, I took some notes on it. I was typing. Don't mean I was disrespectful.
No, you're good.
Right, nobody. So the first thing is, are you speaking more about life itself openly?
Yeah, you can say that. I mean, as far as like things like that, I in that specific verse where I say, I've been trying. It's almost like I've been trying to find peace, going to sleep, lasting to patrol by all my dreams. I'm just seeing like I made it look like almost I'm having a conversation with God, and because I say, I know that I created many scars that would never go away, but I try to pay my debt to let you understand that I regret every decision that I made, because now I see and comprehend that all the damage that I make is suffering that I inflict onto myself. So it's almost like a self-analyzation of like, I can go ahead and, you done me wrong. I can go ahead and kill you and destroy you, but at the end of the day, I'm destroying myself because you and I are one and the same.
And this is why I have this, because if you're not paying attention, you're not gonna catch the song.
Yeah, you have to really listen to what I'm saying, and like how I said, like from birth to funeral, it's a school that makes you analyze and realize with your own eyes that everything happening to you always has a meaning. So like everything that happens to you, like last year I was driving a car that I would have never seen myself driving into. It's a regular ass car, and now I'm driving the car a year later.
Right.
It's like things like that happen to you that you don't realize, and it's like, damn, like and you see things, and then you're like, oh, that's so bad that happened to somebody, and then it happens to you the next year. It's like, wow, I never saw myself as like everything that you see has a reason, has a meaning, and everything that happens to you has a reason.
Chasing what many can't see. What are you chasing that you think most people can't see, or anybody? What
I do, because there's a few. There's a few that can't see it. There's a few that cannot see it. What I do, the craft, the passion that I have for this is something that many cannot see. And that's okay. I was literally having a conversation with one of my cousins, and he actually went on to, in his own way, went on to doing something that many couldn't see. And I saw him 2 years ago or a year ago, and he was literally like crumbled because he was stressed out. Nothing was popping up, and he was at the brink of it happening, and it wasn't happening for him. And then now I see him a year later, and he's like, man, I'm in a total different place right now. Everything is happening. Like I'm just like my engines are just starting right now. Everything is popping up as it should be. So I'm telling you, if you want it, chase it. Go again. So
and to add on to that, I always tell people, imagine quitting the day before you were gonna make it.
Yeah.
Just think about that.
That's
that's
what haunts me. That's what haunts me.
Like you are chasing this. You're putting so much in, and you quit, but then like
and you didn't know the next day you were gonna.
Yeah, and like French Montana even said it on the song. He's like, I don't know what's worse, to get it and lose it all, or to be able to have gotten it, but you never even tried to get it.
Yeah, you never revealed your. It's a shame. What was it? It's a shame that I think Marcus Aurelius said that, or somebody else towards that extent said, it's a shame that. It is a shame for a man not to unleash or know the amount of potential that he was able to get.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, as simple as going to the gym and working out and stuff like that, it's a shame that you never got to see the amount of potential that you have for yourself, or the amount of strength you could have gotten, and not simply to like, oh yeah, I work out.
Self.
Yeah. To see yourself how you are. That
time is nothing but a pure illusion.
Yeah, time is an illusion. I believe that.
Time is an illusion.
I believe time is an illusion. I believe time, just like age, is an illusion that you impose on yourself. Because time just goes by fast when you enjoy yourself, but it goes slow when you're thinking about time.
I had a proud dad moment the other day because I talked to my daughter, and she says something in the lines of, "Wow, that happened that far ago, It feels like it was just yesterday. And I said, well, that's because you're blessed to have a good life. I said, because when life is good, it passes by so fast. I said, the only time life can seem hard is when you're going through rough times, because we take good times for granted and ignore them, and we dwell on bad times.
Yeah.
I said, so you make me proud by telling me that has gone by fast, because that tells me you're not, life is just going so sweet for you that you don't know. And she looked at me and she said, yeah, that makes sense. So yes, it could be an illusion. It could be an illusion.
I think like, not that time is an illusion. Right. I do feel to a certain extent it is, because I feel like you those moments where you remember, like if you were to take a picture of this moment right now, how as we were recording it and stuff like that, it doesn't make it more special if you're filming it or if you're taking a picture of it. It actually devalues it, because the fact that what makes this special is the fact that it's a Monday, 2024, March, and this Monday is never going to happen again. The same way.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it special. The fact that that everything that happens today will never happen again, and same thing with bad things or good things. As is, something bad happened to you, good. It just happened to you today. It's not going to happen to you tomorrow. That's it. You just let it go. So I feel like that's why time is an illusion. I'm
a little bit bleak, but my honest answer always is you're alive.
Exactly.
Like I put it like that. I say it could.
Alive.
You're here.
Could have been worse.
You could be dead. You could not be here no more.
There's a saying that says everything has a solution except for death. So
facts. Let's get into our music again. Crunk music. Do you remember crunk music? No, not at all. Okay, so crunk music would be Little John.
Okay.
Yin Yang Twins.
I don't know them.
No, okay. Young Bloods. D4L. It was that Atlanta party type music.
Okay.
So you're not gonna get this one, but I want you to go home and just listen to some.
I will. I'm taking mental notes.
And like I said, it was a fad, like disco. But you know how some people will still say disco's not dead.
What years was that around?
I want to say between 04 to 07. Ending phase was 07.
Okay. No.
But Usher, you ever heard Usher and Lil Jon say, yeah. Okay, that's R&B crunk, but that's R&B crunk. Because he featured Usher in it, but that kind of sound was crunk music.
I was actually, Lil Jon, I saw that he came up on the Super Bowl thing, and then I was talking with how he kind of like went under. And I saw him in an interview saying that, I don't know if you've seen Dave Chappelle, but kind of like Dave Chappelle, he said that Dave Chappelle kind of like flunked his career.
Yeah. But a lot of people don't know that. Okay, he's a very significant and predominant DJ and producer. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
Nah.
So you just think of Lil Jon and say, yeah. Like,
that's all you think about. Because it's the image that was put out, but they just like, same thing with Big L. They kind of like swept under the rug all his work and just placed that.
And he became a character on himself by screaming with a...
Yeah, right. Because you decide also. Which is why, like, for example, with those type of things, with becoming versatile and like touching every genre, for example, if I was to go ahead and trap and all these things, you always gotta, like, for example, stay kind of like, not for example, but you kind of like have to stay true to what you believe in. And if you really believe on what you're saying, and I'm not saying that Lil Jon did that because of that, but I feel like if he would have stayed a little bit true towards DJing and doing all that stuff, he kind of would have been able to eliminate that image of himself like that. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does.
Like if I was to go ahead and try a trap and R&B, that's fine. It's here. But if I stay true to myself with what I do, that will never be my image. Right. I don't know if that makes sense.
Right. More like a Drake, cause still like a Drake, or even like a J. Cole, because J. Cole.
I want to say that's what when I said by example, or for example, it was J. Cole. That's the person I was gonna say.
J. Cole still dabbles in things.
It dabbles, but it's almost like he kind of like touches it and just
keeps going. Right. But
like, let me stop there.
No, I want people to know, because they put J. Cole on this thing where he's like, and I like J. Cole. Don't get me wrong.
I like J. Cole too, because somebody that I saw that I'm sorry to.
Go ahead.
It was Kendrick. I've seen that he kind of like deviated a little bit towards a different sound, which is amazing and great. But I feel like towards that deviation, there was that loss of his own character, which is great, just awesome, because he's birthing into, I guess, ashes of the Phoenix coming up
whatever,
again. he's creating himself another persona. But I feel like with J. Cole never does that. J. Cole kind of like just goes towards this alley, but then finds his way to
like a left and then a right.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And then, which is not bad nor good,
right.
And you're not steering towards the right. You just keep going towards that right. It's not bad or good, but I feel like if you just make a left and make a right and keep going straight, I feel like that shows off more character.
Well, you may know your destination, but you might get lost in your destination if you're making too many lefts and too many rights.
Yeah.
So you may always know your destination. You may know where you're going. You may know where you want to go. But if you start getting curious and this, you might get lost.
Yeah.
You go too deep.
Also, with this example, Logic also, that I've been talking with my friends, because I've been always a fan of Logic.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there was that, he made a right and then never made a left again. Or he made a right, made a left, but got lost, and he just kept on going.
I think Logic's biggest problem was when he started playing the racial part.
Yeah.
I mean, you're black and white, keep it like that. Don't call it, don't politics, keep it like that.
But it's using it, you see what I'm saying? Almost like comparing it to the Lil Jon situation. Like, you use that, like, thinking that is your advantage, but in reality, it's cursed completely. You should have just steer away from it and keep going straight. Like, even forget about it, don't talk about it. When people talk about it, embrace it and just
keep it going.
Keep going, yeah, exactly.
You know who did good on that? Post Malone on the Breakfast Club interview with Charlamagne, when Charlamagne tried to destroy him. And
I saw that. Yeah, that was
he did amazing.
Yeah, he was just...
He did it. Like, yeah, it's... What do you do for Black Lives Matter? You're a white rapper. But, you know, anybody's going to crash out on that in a good way, or somebody could just be not media trained and still crash out. Yeah. So, to have that mentality of, like I said, know where you're going. Yeah, because some people might be creative and say, well, I'm going to take a left because I know I ain't racist, so I'm going to answer this question or whatever. But that left is going to flip your car. Yeah. You're going to tumble. So you got to be careful.
And I can say for, like, personally for Post Malone, when he was coming up, I saw him as another person coming up. You know how there was that stage of, I guess, music that everybody was coming up.
Right.
And it seemed like they were doing the same thing. And I can say for a fact that Post Malone is one of those that kind of, like, proved me wrong in that sense of,
yes.
Like, damn. Like, he went ahead and made that right, made that left, but he stayed true to doing something that he really liked. And I'm not the greatest fan of his music. I enjoy his music, but I enjoy way more what he's doing right now than what he was doing before.
Respect him.
Yeah, and then I also saw what he was going through, and the type of person that I've seen through, obviously I don't know him personally, but the type of person that I've seen through his image and stuff like that, and I really grew on to, like, saying, like, damn, this dude's amazing.
You know what did that to me, and it's going to sound crazy as fuck? Like, I even got a tattoo and everything.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Lil Peep.
No way.
I'm a really big Lil Peep fan, and I'm going to tell you why. So, first of all, I despised him before hearing his music. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Okay. He passed away, right?
Yeah, he overdosed. I'm a big Nirvana fan, and I'm a big Kurt Cobain fan.
Okay.
Nirvana's probably my favorite rock artist from any genre, and I'll argue with it.
I heard Nirvana a couple of times, and I have a cousin that loves Nirvana, but I actually fell in love more of the Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters, okay. Check out Kurt Cobain, the story, and there's a lot of emotions with him.
I know more or less the story of him, and I've heard, I want to say 1 and 4 songs of him, but not that deep, so I will dive into it.
There's plenty of, like, it goes, like I said,
deep, yeah.
Yeah, we 3 hours on that. So anyway, back to Pete was, I thought, my perception was he was just a gimmick rapper.
Another one of those.
Just a gimmick rapper, and I didn't even give him a chance to listen to his music. So he passed. I mean, I paid attention to him on social media, but never listened to his music.
Yeah.
I watched him on social media. I seen the antics, but he was never chasing clout. He was who he was.
Right, he stayed true.
Yeah, he wasn't the gangster. He wasn't trying to be gangster. No. He wasn't none of that. In reality, he was like an urban rocker. He was raised in upstate New York. Traveled to LA, this, that, and the other. But he was more of a melodizer. He sang a lot.
Okay.
He would use hip hop sounds in the background as beats, but he would sing stories, and a lot of it was about mental health. A lot of it was about drug use. A lot of it was about that and that. So when I listened to his story and I listened to his music, I was like, oh fuck, like. I
see what it is.
Yeah, I see it. I'm like, fuck, man. What if I was like an artist? What if I was a fan and I could have fucking did or said something? I kind of like get personal with people sometimes.
No,
you know.
I get the same way with which actually we're listening to Mac Miller the other day, and we were like, I've always said to myself, but the day that he passed away, I kind of like, you know, a tear came by, but I've always said that, like, I listened to his songs, and I'm like, man, fuck, this guy's dead. passed away, I'm like, I could have probably, you know, I mean, obviously, I don't know, but I would have loved. I would have loved to just
just vibe.
Or not even that, just meet the dude and explain to him how important his music is.
He is, right.
And how important his music, how he was so important and how his music is so vital.
And I speak about this with people that die from drugs, because Nipsey was another one that I never really listened to Nipsey Hussle like that until he died.
Me neither. And the same thing with X.
Yes, X too.
Same thing.
X.
Same thing.
Last one before we get into the next song. Drill rap. Now, I listen to everything, and I do. I don't like what it stands for, but I do like the music, especially for like you go to the gym or something like that, where it's meaningless, but I know a lot of it does have meaning in the street. But Chief Keef, like it or not, is the pioneer of drill music.
I've heard some songs from Chief Keef,
and he has done it. And the song I don't like is the Chief Keef top drill song. If any drill for you, if not, it's okay too. It's fine.
I don't know if you can classify. I know I've heard Skepta, but I don't know if Skepta can classify as a drill rap. I don't think so. I think he has
got
done
that UK sound of drill, so
maybe because I saw him freestyling and I was like, whoa, this dude, it's amazing. And the other one I saw Stormzy, but he's a rapper. But I believe I've seen him doing drill. I could be wrong, but dude is also amazing. Yeah, amazing. Like it's almost like Stormzy. You understand? Yeah, Stormzy. That's a good song to work out for. I'll find it for you right now, so I can tell you the name.
I never heard it. I need some more drill for the gym, because that's I'm a big drill head in the gym.
Stormzy, Mel made me do it.
Mel made me, okay. I'll check it out.
Crazy.
It's just certain music. Like, all right, so what I hate is the stigma it gets
over every genre.
Right, because you could go and listen to Metallica and shit like that, and it's not getting its its flowers, I guess. Yeah, I mean, so it's now I get it though. There is some artists that are living and rapping about what they're doing, which is not good. Like, obviously, we don't want to kill nobody and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
But just the music itself, it's dope.
Yeah, because even and I just made this connection, I guess, right now, how many people, which I do that stigma, I guess, from many music that's coming out today is about drugs and
drug
guns
sex.
And yeah, exactly. All that gets you that cloud that you want, but you can even tell it and connect it a little bit to, for example, Biggie, 50 Cent. They were doing the same thing, but to a certain extent, maybe people just put more value because it sounded different, or maybe they added it was 80% music knowledge and then 20% of that, I guess, and now they changed it to 80% of that, 20% of.
Meek Mill put up a post. Meek Mill said the difference between us and the guys that are today is that I think it was Meek Mill. If it's somebody else said it, but it was just a recent tweet. But Meek, I think, said the difference between us and them is we were rapping about what we did and what we've been through. They're rapping about what they're gonna do tomorrow.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, and that's something that I spoke with. I forgot who I spoke with about. I was telling them, like, I hate. Not that I hate, and it's okay if you go ahead and do it, but I don't like when somebody talks about something that they have never done.
Yes.
Or if you can talk about it in a creative way, but don't talk about it like this is your life. Like that's, I can say, which I said it on Rules Nobody Follow, understood that a gun holds a lot of weight. I purchased a gun. The moments around that I wrote that song, I purchased a gun.
Legally.
Legally. And I understood. Self-defense, yeah. You never know. But I understood that a gun holds a lot of weight, and I understand that a gun holds a lot of weight. But the mind is a weapon that you got to train.
Yes.
So
it's
mind,
worse than a gun.
Yeah, that was worse than a gun. And just like how understood that the pen is mightier than any sword. The pen can written. I show you through history that a document written is what gets millions killed. But like the tongue is the worst and best enemy you'll ever have. Better than any gun in the universe.
That's why something as simple as slander is still something very bad.
It could throw you. If somebody was to say something on the internet and get connected to the right people, you could be
demolished.
Yeah, demolished.
That's it. Move off civilization.
You're done.
Next song we're playing.
It's called.
Give it a name and play it. You got to turn on that speaker again.
Yeah, I got you. It's called The End.
This is not the end of the show, though.
No, sir. Told Brandon wasn't gonna play this one. Yeah, I got to.
Matic Monday.
One other last standing, truly representing, living affirmation. I've been fighting since my first memory, going against anything standing on my path. People say you gotta stay relaxed, cause I feel like any day I may die, just going past. Every second is a privilege I cannot ever get back in. Came from a territory many miles away, South American DNA pumping in my veins. Impossible to make it, that's what they kept on telling. I went through hell and made it. The devil tried to test me, decapitated him. I went to heaven and percent that God is always with me every second. He always protects me. I crossed the Rubicon, made a promise and a bond to fulfill my destiny and to never matter what the cost. Poetry was not a choice, it was necessary. A great obsession maybe, part of a bigger plan that I couldn't understand. Many discussions and commotions between my parents, thinking how long this could last. Scarred for life, this is reality I speak. As you're listening, I'm writing with my blood like it was ink. I've been on the quest, looking for success. Always felt like I was different from everyone else. An exile, unique, one of a kind. Trying to fit in everywhere, looking for the closure he never had. Writing was the only route to let the emotions out. Keeping everything inside, always smiling, pretending that he was fine when he was really losing his mind. 2 o'clock in the morning, drinking at the age of 15. I've been so all alone, I can't take this. I've been so lost, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I've been so all alone, I can't take this. I've been so lost, I don't think that I'm gonna make it. Lost the aim for the path that I had. I became a slave to society, giving away my time for a penny and a dime. What is money if it means getting everything but losing my peace of mind? All I know is to survive through the challenges I rise, eliminating every single ounce of regret out of my eyes. Pain was the only friend that I had on my side, giving me company every night. I discovered this and it was nothing but a bliss, a place keeping me safe and letting me just be. Learning that the pen is mightier than any sword, transcending above time and surpassing all the odds. Engraved inside my soul, this must be blowing against every current. Greatness is a must for me. I gotta break free, I gotta break free. Thoughts are flying like birds around the skies, and colliding with each other, feeling like I'm falling into a deep depression, losing concentration, deep sleep, embarking onto meditation. This.
That's gonna be like on some Michael B. Jordan movie or something. I hear that on a movie soundtrack for some reason. I don't know.
That's why I kind of like that song was done before we went with the name Matic. I had those sounds. I heard those sounds in Splice. I use Splice. Don't kill me. I heard those sounds. I had all the sounds for Splice, and I went ahead and told Brandon, I was like, "Listen, I got these sounds. They're crazy. Let's make something." And I just played him this, and he's like, "Yeah, let's get that."
Because I do hear the old you in there, the SoundCloud you.
It sounds like old me, but it's almost like that's.
But
I
cleaned up.
I kind of like grabbed that energy, pulled it into it because I heard those sounds and the way that he was putting it up. I actually recorded the process we were doing this because I was just so into it, and it's one of those beats that just. I went, listened, and even before the beat was made, I'm like, I'm writing. And it's like, here, you gotta finish this shit.
That's for
tonight.
cardio day too.
Huh?
That song's for cardio day too.
Oh yeah, that's it. Somebody told me like I showed him like 4 or 3 songs of me and for mine, and then he's like, man, like I really connect with this one because of what you're saying. Which like what I told you. I don't know. I heard this somewhere, and it's like almost like everything connected with what I was writing. I crossed the Rubicon, which the Rubicon, for those that don't know, and for you if you don't know, the Rubicon is a river, and is an expression used actually. For people that say you're going to cross the river. If you cross that river, there's no going back. If you cross the Rubicon, there's no going back because Caesar crossed the Rubicon, which declared civil war in that empire. He crossed that Rubicon and was told like, do not cross it, because if you do cross it, there's no it's a point of no return. Yeah, exactly. That's that question. So I crossed the Rubicon, made a promise and a bond to fulfill my destiny and to never matter what the cost. So kind of like signing a contract to do what I'm gonna do no matter what happens to it. So almost like everything I wrote to it, it's like deep all to it. I was listening on my radio. I'm like, yeah, I gotta play a song.
So all right, let me ask you a question as well. These interviews that we do, is that like another like solidification for you to make sure that everything you're saying it on camera, so you can't go back and fuck off on?
Yeah, I make sure that everything that I say, it's nothing that like we were talking about right now. It's not.
'Cause you can't slack.
I can't slack. Yeah,
you can't slack.
Yeah, no. Everything I say, it has to be tight. Almost like these interviews are gonna happen every day.
Yeah.
Like that's the way I look at everything as is, because I already, even though, you know, people are listening to my songs or listen to this, I don't expect nobody to listen to it. But in my brain, I expect everybody to listen to it. So I just make sure to be as detailed as I can, but also take a step back and not be as such a critic, to put I guess my ego in front of the art and just go ahead. I'll perfect it as much as possible to the best of my ability and then release it. And that's it. I'm done. It's better than perfect. So
keep documenting. You possibly Jamaican?
No. What? No. You know, I never. Damn. No, I'm not.
Joe?
No. Why?
Okay. Something about that on the track where you said something about being possibly Jamaican, or just...
No, I said in this one.
Yeah.
I said no. I said. So I say one of the last standing, truly representing a living affirmation. I've been fighting since my first memory, going against anything standing on my path. People say you gotta stay relaxed, because I feel like any day I may die and just going past. Every second that I'm living is a second I cannot get back. Came from a territory many miles away. South American DNA pumping in my veins. Impossible to make it. That's why they kept on telling. I went through hell and made it. The devil tried to test me, decapitated him, and went to heaven. And percent that God is always with me every second. He always protects me. And that's when I go across the Rubicon, made a promise and a bond. That.
All right.
Impossible to make.
Scared for life from what? Like what's your biggest fear?
Dying and not fulfilling what I see. That's my biggest. That's my biggest fear. I feel like that's one of. Before, I think it was dying alone. Gotcha. I think I could say that was one of my biggest fears. But now, one of my biggest fears is not taking, how we were talking about before, how every day is sacred and it will never happen again. So like you're at work and then you're wishing that you're off because you want to do something, but then you're off and you don't do that something that you wanted to do, and you just keep on being in that circle and that monotony. You never do what you really wanted to do, and then you stay passive. And then once you realize, everything is gone.
So you haven't reached that point yet, but are you happy with yourself with the progress? Because you're never gonna be 100%.
Yeah, I'm never gonna be 100%. I feel like it's.
You feel you're doing it.
I feel like I'm doing it, and the fact that I'm doing it, it's enough for me. Because it's almost like I brush off compliments, and I believe that I do that on purpose to not get accustomed to, not even to get accustomed. I want to say like to not feel like, oh yeah, I'm here. You know, it's almost to feel like, oh my God, I love your song. I'm like, oh, thank you so much, I appreciate it, and then I just keep on moving forward. It's almost like it didn't exist. I acknowledge it and take it, but within me, I go like, yeah, I probably didn't like it. There's something better that I can come up with, because I'm always chasing that, and I've always talked about that the moment that you can't chase the next best song is the moment that you give up on yourself, because There's always something better that you can do.
Correct.
The mistake that you made on this video, if you know, for example, in your occasion or in your career as is the mistake that you are gonna be willing to fix no matter what in the next video, and then you'll make another mistake, and then you go back to it again, and then until you reach that you've done it so many times that you've perfected it, and there's no mistake. And then just like we were talking about, something that you see that nobody sees, you're like, man, I fucked up on that. But nobody's seeing it. Everybody's saying how great it was. Just like I posted a video today, but almost nobody followed. Excuse me. I'm like, oh my God, the quality's so bad. Oh, thank you. Yeah. The quality's so bad. Oh my God, and everybody's telling me, my God, bro, the video is amazing. You know how you told me like, oh my, your editing video it's gone great. And I'm like, it sucks. You know, it's like, things like that, or like, oh my god, your voice sounds so great, and I'm like, well, I said fair instead of tear.
Right.
You know, it's like things like that nobody listens to, or like I've gone times in where I play something I did a take and I tell Brad, I'm like, man, I hear myself saying something that is not. He's like, man, you're saying it perfectly. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, something's like, not right.
Relax, you know, because you're trying to be so perfectionist, and you have to understand those moments where you have to step back and just let it.
Right.
You know, just let it go. Forget about it. It's just your piece does not define you, or your art, or just this moment does not define you. It's just a piece of 3 million, I guess, or a billion of yourself that you have a whole lifetime to do. So.
And sometimes you got to remind yourself, because one thing that I realized the other day, because I do when I do studio interviews, we do drops, and I think, in my opinion, like when somebody comes to do a drop, so basically drops are, hey, it's Matic, you just did an interview with Litty Willie, make sure you tune in, subscribe, all that thing. But I think the rapper is going to do it better than me, or the artist is going to do it better than me, because they're rappers, they're artists.
Right.
So I'm sitting there waiting for, and they're taking 3, 4, 5, 6 takes, and I'm like, dude, you're a rapper. So when I say it, they look at me like, fuck. But I guess it's just repetition.
Yeah.
More, you know. So, but
the confidence you build it.
Confidence and repetition. Pain was your only friend.
Yeah. It's kind of like you turn into yourself for help, and I've always heard that. I've heard that many times. Like, you know, if you don't have a hand to pick you up from, you gotta use yourself. You always gotta remind yourself that you got yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Well, I know. So that's why I said pain was the only friend that I had on my side, keeping me company every night. I feel like from many nights of being, I don't want to say isolated,
mm-hmm.
but many nights in where I was by myself and I was going through things and I couldn't express it to anybody else.
Right.
It was like I kind of like had to reach back within myself and just keep on going. Music was the biggest help, but it's just yourself, because you're the one that pulls you away from those bad times. It's like if something happens to you right now, like God forbid you're stranded on the street, people can come help you, but you're the one that can help yourself and get yourself out of that situation as quick as possible. So
it's hard to deal with the abuser when you are the abuser.
Exactly.
So you're relying on the abuser.
And you gotta exactly. That you gotta like fix yourself, and that's what I'm saying. Like you're your own best friend and your own best enemy, or your worst enemy. So you just gotta like, which is why I said like pain was the only friend that I had on my side. I kind of like you have to. Those things and those enemies or demons can also be your angels.
Yes.
So.
Correct. And that's from what I acknowledge, going through what I've gone through in life. That's why you have to put yourself first, as greedy as it may sound.
Uh-huh.
You can't be good for nobody if you're not good for yourself. You have to put yourself first. I got to put my feelings and my mental health and my emotions first in order for me to give good feelings, emotions, and love to my loved ones.
Yeah.
If I'm not good within myself, if I'm not putting myself first and I'm putting everybody in front of me, my own self will be gassed out.
It's gonna suffer.
My own self will suffer. My own self will deteriorate.
Yeah, of course.
And then that's where revenge comes in. That's where hate comes in. That's where
and things that you may not even know that you could do are gonna be done, and
correct.
You're gonna go back and be like, why did I do that?
Right.
You know, it's like that saying that when you're on an airplane, in an airplane, they always tell you that you gotta put your own mask before you put it to somebody else's.
Correct.
So,
correct.
You can't help anybody. If you're going down, God forbid, you got to put your own mask so you can save your kids and stuff like that. Because you have to have oxygen. If you put it to your kid, you're going to pass out and then your kid's dead.
Yeah, exactly. Last music, this one you're going to know, is conscious rap.
Okay.
Favorite conscious song?
Okay.
Mine is Common, I Used to Love Her.
Okay.
What would be yours?
Common, you said?
Yeah, Common.
I heard Common a couple of times, not fully.
Listen to the song "I Used to Love Her." That is one of the top just hip hop tracks in general.
From who?
Common.
Common,
yeah.
But the song Common.
No, it's called "I Used to Love Her." The artist.
I used to love her. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
Common. I've seen him more times in movies because I do know that he went towards that route.
That's another person today that you're gonna listen to. You're gonna say what?
Yeah, no, because I've heard him on. I heard him in a song with Mos Def, and I could say, damn, it's hard. My favorite song for conscious, "Sing About Me When I'm Gone," Kendrick.
Okay. Yeah. I fuck with that. I mean that's
not you know, as
Of course.
years
Yeah, no,
pass time.
this is the thing about music. We all have our own takes.
Yeah, and I the reason why I said that song is because of the prayer that it has at the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's telling like, oh, you need. It's like at the end, it's like an outro. I believe that it is. It says, you know, it sounds like some young kids are having some issues, and then this old lady comes in and says like, oh, you need holy water. You need to be saved by the Lord, and then they kind of like pray and say, Lord God, I know I'm a sinner, and they have a prayer like that. And I used to listen to that song. I probably said that prayer like I don't know how many times. Like, you know, like it's kind of like a please forgive me for all my sins,
Right,
refresh me, and all that stuff. So it's like everything that he's saying, I don't know. It's just beyond.
It connects.
Yeah, it connects.
That's the best definition. Last question was, it's a 2-part. What do you love the most about hip hop, and what aggravates you the most about hip hop? You didn't think they were gonna get that real, huh?
Yeah, I was ready. What I love about hip hop as is, I can say
The
most is that it's always evolving as is. It depends on on the people that are evolving it or they're growing from. What I hate
Or
aggravates me the most is the fact that we're starting to blend in certain things that I do not think they're hip hop onto hip hop.
Okay.
So I believe that that's what's the blending in, and I believe like I know I'm young, but I believe like even people younger than me, they don't even know that it's blending in, or not many see that they're blending in.
Mm-hmm.
They just see it as just normal, it's common, and I don't believe that it's common. I believe that there has to be some type of separation within that circle, as is, and there can be because they both can coexist together with no issues at all, or without saying like, you know, you suck or this is bad, this is good.
So you just don't want to label it as hip hop.
I believe there should be labeled something else, because I believe that hip hop comes from craft, rhyme, and delivering a message. Whether it is just, you know, whether you're sounding like drum music, whether you're sounding as conscious, whether you're sounding as, you know, whatever type of genre that you want to label yourself that may fall into hip hop. I believe that there's an importance on knowing what this is.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that that's what aggravates me the most, that there's no control. Not there's no control, but there's no knowledge enough onto structure. Yeah, okay. Structure. There's not much structure, and then everything is just getting blended in, and then somebody can come in and talk about, you know, guns and all that stuff, and you label that as hip hop, and it's like, no. But then I go ahead and play you Most Def, and then you say that's not hip hop.
Correct.
And it's like, that doesn't make sense. In my head, it doesn't make sense, but I understand why it makes sense for you. But
yeah,
give me and if I ask you, give me a rhyme scheme or give me a punchline, what is that?
Yeah.
So things like that, I don't know. I feel like that. Yeah, I feel like that has taken a lot from hip hop as is, and for example, how even myself, or for example, music that Renee may do, or that I do, or whoever in that certain category does not get as much appreciation because of the things that are being said, or the rhyme scheme, or the time that we took, or that I took, or that he took, or etc. took to create that, because we think like that. I don't feel like it gets much appreciation because of the way that things are blending into.
Well, I can tell you, I hate to say it like this. So in the nicest way, especially after COVID, nobody wants to work. Yeah. Nobody wants to do nothing that involves work. Nobody wants to work. And I think that when it comes to hip hop, that's falling into hip hop as well. I think that nobody wants to sit. I mean, it's a proven fact. There was a normal song was 3.5 to 4 minutes. Now average tracks are running 1.5, 2 minutes. Yeah. The attention span is slowing down, and that's just not in hip hop.
It's everything.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
And it's transcending to even, like, you know, again, I know I'm young, but it's transcending towards that generation that does not belong to this generation. That's happening right now. It's transcending to that. Right. To that fast span. If it doesn't attract my attention, I just swipe.
And shout out to Busta Rhymes, because Busta Rhymes is still an older, relevant rapper that's still creating music. And I'm gonna tell you right now, mark my words, Matic. Mark my words. Life goes through stages, and it's usually decades. Usually, decades things change drastically.
Right.
We will and are going back into lyrical message rap. It's going back. I'm letting you know right now. It's gonna happen. You may be saying 2 years from now and be like, "God damn, Willie said it." Like Willie said it. You could just look at, honestly, as gimmicky as it may look, even with trap and drill and all these things, if you're starting to look forward, people are outside with microphones doing freestyles and things like that. So the element of hip hop hasn't gotten lost yet.
It's still there. It's hidden. It's almost like the force.
Yeah, but you see, what happens is, and we were talking about this with one of the artists I was interviewing. There's only so many people you can kill. There's only so much drugs you can do. There's only so many dudes you can screw for female rappers.
Right.
So when that gets played out, somebody needs to be the top cheese. So then that goes back to, okay, who can fucking rap? Who's lyrical? Because it's gonna get.
It's gonna get to the point.
Everybody's killing everybody. So he got 1,000 bodies. He got 5,000 bodies, and then there's a point where nobody believes you no more. So then then the A&Rs, the businesses, everybody starts saying now, because even the big corporations, once that dies down,
what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? So now the big corporations are like, oh, drill, or just not drill. I hate to say it, but just death and drugs and alcohol is not selling no more.
Oh, we gotta pick up on this.
Let's go. And what's the best thing about hip hop that will make hip hop never die? The competitiveness of it. Not in the competitiveness against me, against you, but I'm lyrical. I can bring excitement.
There's always growth.
There's always growth. So mark my words, lyrical. That's gonna come back. Don't lose hope. Right, keep going. Keep going, because you're before your time, but over your time. You're at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you're before the race, but you're in front of the race. So just keep it up, but have faith in it, because it is coming back. Okay. I was raised by hip hop, so when I was a kid, I had a rough childhood. I had a rough childhood with parents. Parents split up. Mom wasn't really around. Dad was nowhere to be found. Mom was there, but not physically there.
Okay.
But the only thing I had, see, you guys got the phones with the MP3. I sound like an old fucking guy even saying that. But you had the phones, the MP3s, the this, the that. All we had was radios, and I had CDs and tapes. The first album that I had was actually 2 albums, which was It's Dark and Hell is Hot, and which is DMX, and Big Pun, Capital Punishment. Those mind you, I had no cable, I had no TV, I had a radio with 2 CDs.
That's all you had.
That's all I had, and a brother and a sister that I was the oldest for, so I had to make sure that I was keeping them happy. So my happy time was just listening to music over and listening to these albums over and over and over and over and over. And then, mind you, I did grow up listening to music and here and there, but hip hop was that thing that stuck. And then from that, it went to the Marshall Mathers LP. Did you listen to it? The first one I told you to listen to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, of course.
So mind you, I had the confidence from Pun, I had the anger from DMX, and I had the I didn't give a fuck from Eminem. So that's kind of what crafted me to be who I am today. Even though I don't want to say that I want to be like somebody, but just those 3 things, those 3 elements, created this character in me within myself.
It's almost like that type of music, or that, for example, how you're saying that lyrical music kind of like elevates somebody or puts somebody in the place, and even with myself or yourself, kind of like raises you.
Yes.
In a certain way, even though you may be the age that you are, how it got you at that age, and myself, it got me in a early.
I was 12.
I was 15, 14, 13, and it kind of raised me to be the person that I am right now, and it's amazing how you have your own way of growing up towards your family, but music is kind of like that mom or that family member you don't need to know, but you just need to play a song. That's it.
But yeah, hip hop is it's beautiful. It's something that it has a bad stigma, obviously, because of some of the lyrics that are said, some of the way things are expressed. But it's a raw format of expression.
Yeah, of course.
It's a raw format. So even you that don't sing about bitches, drugs, this and that, but you can say my fucking life sucks and sometimes I want to kill myself on a track.
Yeah, yeah.
Which regular people are like, he said he wants to kill himself.
Yeah,
and
not,
not,
taking it.
Right.
Yeah, which Eminem has said that many times in not that, but many things like that people just take it to.
Right.
And then he went ahead and did The Way I Am. It's
right.
Like, you know, you're taking everything, you know, like to the point.
Hip hop's beautiful, bro. Keep embracing it. Keep evolving. Keep doing what you're doing. We're gonna have more Matic Mondays. Are you closing out with a track?
I can close up with a track. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna close out with a track. Give us the name. After that, we're gonna cut it off, and then we're gonna let you discuss it on YouTube and all the comments and stuff like that.
I'm gonna play.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's the artist coming out. Look, you just got a whole list of shit.
I'm gonna play what I'm gonna play. Yeah, I'm gonna play something that I did last week.
Okay.
Which is this beat is from Rob Nolan. Shout out to Rob Nolan.
Shout out to Rob.
Pocket of Things I Think.
Do me wrong, yeah. Do me right now, baby.
Struggling to keep peace. Brain is demanding bloodshed from a heart that just won't stop crying. Scratches and battle wounds all around my coronary artery. Shit. I gave him the hand and they slapped me. It hurt me so bad, like Fredo to Michael, like Judas to Christ, Brutus to Julius Caesar. How can I give the other cheek? No. Stressing so much got me doubting if God had a plan to give me some land. He placed so much data in my DNA for it to be going to waste. What can I say? What can I say? What can I say? Didn't know the language, now I can write you a Bible and lyrically picture the birth of Venus, a different creature. I look at the stars and get assimilations, understanding my reflection, knowing that my surroundings can't change. Only if I think differently, I can obtain everything. These are things that I think underneath of my skin. Life is nothing but a blank. Life is nothing but a blank. These are things that I think underneath of my skin. Life is nothing but a blank. Life is nothing but a blank. Losing my head, I don't know where to find it. Asking for knowledge like Solomon, that is a dangerous thing. You could be conquering, damaging, gaining, and taking away from the poor to the rich, going the opposite way, and that is something that you never see, cause everybody think the same. Money and fame, above it all, you wanna be a star, I get it, but wouldn't you rather be creating galaxies? It is a magical thing, and when you find out what is it that you're meant to be, not to get pain, causing a strain, leaving a stain. Not on yourself, that will never go away. Embrace your emotions, but controlling them. Love is forever, hate is a savior. Pride is a devil, hate is his cousin. They live together, it's up to you to make a choice, whether to live or to go. Suffering and living are the same, just like the sun and the moon connect. You get to pick which one you are, you better realize time does go.
So I just picked up this one, and then it's actually what I wrote. Struggling to keep peace. Brain is demanding bloodshed from a heart that just won't stop crying. Scratches and battle wounds all around my coronary artery. Shit. They gave me the hand and they slapped me. It hurt me so bad, like Fredo to Michael, like Judas to Christ. That I wrote to another beat that went down on YouTube. I guess they purchased it or they just took it down, and I just slammed that because I like what I wrote, because I don't know if you, I imagine you have watched The Godfather, right?
Yes.
I love The Godfather. I probably watched The Godfather like 6 times. So I wrote those lines specific, like what hurt me so bad, like Fredo to Michael, because in that scene, Fredo betrays Michael.
Right.
Like Judas to Christ or Brutus to Julius Caesar, because Brutus. Obviously, betrayed Julius Caesar. I cannot give the other cheek. No. Struggling so much, got me doubting if God had a plan to give me some land. He placed so much data on my DNA for it to be going to waste. Those things like that, like it just like that beat, like that. I gotta.
So when is that releasing? Because I know I still hear it's raw.
It's raw. Yeah, it's raw. I wanna wait. Just like the end, I wanna wait. I'm gonna hold it. It depends on, like, I haven't seen any comments or anything else like that. It depends. I gotta see.
People are diving in and out. It's an in and out thing, but everybody's just like dope. So
Thank you.
in and out thing. Make sure you go and check it out on YouTube. We're gonna put this on YouTube as we always do. So everybody that's watching on YouTube right now, comment to all the tracks that we just listed. Give them the 3 names.
So I put What Is It That You're Gonna Say was the first one. The End was the second one, and then Things I Think was the third one. Both first and second I own. The third one is owned. The beat was produced and made, and it's owned by Rob Norman.
So make sure y'all comment. Let us know which one was the best one, which one you enjoyed the most, which one does need work. Now you have to remember 2 of those are in raw format still, right? They have not been.
Actually, all 3.
All 3, okay.
Yeah, all 3.
The last 2 sound a little bit.
Last 2 sound more perfected because they went through that process of,
Got you.
So,
anything that you got to say or close out with this week?
I don't know, man. I mean, I love this. I like this.
We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going. I just want to thank you always. I always want to encourage you. I always want to say it publicly. You're doing great, but don't stop.
Thank you.
Please don't
Appreciate
stop. Don't. I know that it's hard.
Yeah.
Because of all the things in life that we go through, that you go through. I know it's even harder for you as an artist, where sometimes you may run into a roadblock. Sometimes you're not seeing the right amount of views, the right amount of comments, the right amount of traction. But just trust the process. Trust your art. You got something. Just keep going, bro.
Thank you.
All right. Matic in the building, and we closing out.